Good evening, good evening, good evening. You are welcome to the UPND Europe chapter live broadcast all the way from Germany. And we just want to give God the glory for affording us a chance today to talk about our own country. And we have a special guest. Please invite others on YouTube, invite others on Facebook. Let them join. They can be discussing, they can be talking. There will be a lot of activities going on, and it will be a very exciting moment because our guest is a special person. So I will be shortly introducing him to the audience so that you come to know him, and definitely he's going to express himself. He's an elegant man, someone you can learn something from, and I don't want to preempt everything before even he comes. Just to maybe
She came today.
please, can you meet yourself, the person who is talking in the background? Yes, yeah. So I was just saying that here, this chapter, we are here to supplement the government efforts. We want to take development to our country. The good things that we are seeing here, we want to transport them home. So we can only do that when we engage the people back home. We engage them. So when we engage them, then maybe connections can happen, things like partnership, seat partnerships, council partnerships, even company partnerships. So many different forms of development that we are looking at. So here, you are welcome. It doesn't matter which grouping you think of. When it comes to development, when it comes to Zambia, we are all one Zambia, one nation. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Mr. Risto Mushembe. Have I called your name correctly, sir?
Yes. Good evening. You have called my name correctly. It's Risto Mushembe.
Risto Mushembe. You are welcome, sir. And we are glad to have
you
you here tonight as our guest. This is UPND talking, walking the talk. So we are going to look at different issues, and maybe briefly, before we have already people who are on our platforms and they want to listen to what you have to offer. Could you just briefly start by introducing yourself? Who is Mushembe Risto?
Okay, good evening, listeners, good evening, viewers, and good evening, everyone. Risto Mushembe is actually currently the district commissioner for Chilubi district. He's a gentleman who was born in 1982 on 21st March, and he's born and bred from Chilubi Island. Almost all the things that I've been doing them locally within Chilubi. And of course, I went to school, did my primary school from Kapampa Primary School. That was in 1989 to 1995. And did my junior secondary school, grade 8 and 9, 1996 to 97. Then 98 to 2000, I completed my secondary school in Iluwingu. Moved from there, went for my primary school teachers course in Kasama. Then did my diploma in Kasama. Went to do my degree with St. Eugene University. Yes, throughout my life, I think I've been just that, and my profession is teaching. I've been a teacher since 2004, maybe up to 2019, somewhere there. So that is Risto Mushembe. Currently, I'm the district commissioner, appointed in 2021 by His Excellency the President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. So that is the brief about Risto Mushembe. He's a married man, married to my beautiful wife, and they have 4 children, 2 boys, 2 girls. I think that is all that I can offer for now in introducing myself.
Wow, that is great, sir. We are so excited to hear such a rich history. And yeah, as a parent, a teacher, a government official, a politician at the same time. So, sir, before
Yes.
maybe we talk about anything, I would like to just ask you this question. How did you find yourself to be a member of the UPND party?
Okay, maybe before I come to answer your question, I had a few words that I wanted to say before we go into much of our stuff.
Okay, sir, go ahead. Yeah, you have the floor.
Yes. Yes, first of all, I would like to thank you very much for hosting me on the UPND Europe live broadcast chapter. On this program, I'm really humbled, especially to the audience that we have, and may I send the greetings to them. And let me also take this opportunity to say thank you so much to the President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, the President of the Republic of Zambia, and also to his Vice President, Madam Mutale W.K. Nalumango, the NMC members for UPND, also the New Dawn administration. May I simply say all the leaders of the party and members of the party, on behalf of my family, and indeed on behalf of my fellow commissioners that we have been appointed as first district commissioners under the New Dawn government, let me say we are so grateful and we are really, really happy that we have been appointed. All that we can promise as this is countrywide is our doing our level best to ensure that we achieve that the appointing authority desires from us. Allow me also to thank the voters that voted for us, and really the voters voted for the change. The voters helped to vote for us and they brought in the change. And for us, I can say they brought the change, which in UPND we believe the word change is actually the acronym. It's an acronym which I'll later explain what it means and what is involved in the word change. Coming back to your question, I was a teacher for some time, as I indicated earlier on in my preamble. I used to teach from the primary section, and then I was looking at the way issues were run in our country. So it was paining me, especially that our district is the remotest district maybe in the country, looking at how we are treated and how things were being run by all the successful governments that were there. I was feeling there was inequality. There were some disparities among districts or regions, the way matters were being run by the governments, the past governments. So it was paining me, especially the recent past government, the previous regime, which was running the affairs of the nation as if they are running the affairs of, I don't know, maybe the farm or something else. So it happened that maybe in 2019, I decided to say, I think we don't have a voice that can speak on behalf of the people of Chilubi. I think we don't have people who can echo or who can just discuss the developmental agenda of the district. So at that time when it was burning in my heart, I desired to just resign and do something else that can show the people or communicate to the people to say, we are not really happy. It happened in 2019, I think on 5th December. after the struggle, communicating to my wife, family members, telling them that I'm about to leave the service. And after, of course, because I am a believer in God, after I'd done the fasting, I prayed to God that God show me the way. I want to stop this career and do other things. So on 5th December, I decided to resign from teaching. My resignation actually was a protest against the leadership of the president who was there running the affairs of this nation, the former president, the recent past former president. So I decided just there and then just to resign. And I resigned in 2020. I was even accorded the chance to contest in a by-election. So I contested, and I was never successful. I contested as the council chairperson. And then in 2021, again, I was picked by the UPND government. I've been consistent. I've never, since my resignation from teaching, I never joined any other political party. I only joined UPND because in UPND, I saw a leader who is able to lead us somewhere, a leader who is focused, a leader who knows what the people need to develop this nation. So in Hakainde, I saw everything. I saw like a role model, somebody who can help our country. And indeed, I was not wrong. That's how it happened. I resigned. Of course, the former president with his people could threaten me. Sometimes they could promise me things. No, we'll do this, we'll do that. And they also threatened the other civil servants because they thought maybe because of my resignation, every civil servant was for me. For your own information, I was actually the union leader, district union leader for Chilubi when I was a teacher, and ZANUT, that is Zambian National Union of Teachers. So actually, it was a threat. And it happened that during the by-election, actually, the president by then came to Chilubi. He camped in Chilubi. The whole state house shifted to Chilubi for 7 days. And it's where we even experienced people being barred from campaigning. All those matters, they were happening in our country. And they booked everything as in lodging, transport, everything was hired just to bar other political parties from campaigning. So it was just terrible. It was something else. So that's the brief on what brought me to resign.
Wow, that is great news. Now, today you are the DC of Chilubi Island. Now, you have mentioned Chilubi Island so many times. Many people, they may not know, where is Chilubi? Where is this island? Zambia is not, has no coast. So you are talking of an island. Please, can you tell the audience, where is Chilubi Island and how big is it? What is the population of Chilubi Island?
Chilubi Island is a district in northern province of Zambia. And this island, the island itself is maybe 100 kilometers. It has a circumference of 100 kilometers. But this island is not on its own. It has, the district itself is in a 3-tier system. We have the island, we have also the mainland, and also the swamps. So all the 3 components form what we are calling now the Chilubi district. But the CBD is on the island itself. And for the sake of others, Chilubi Island is the biggest island in the country Zambia. And the diameter of Chilubi Island is about 30 kilometers. The number of people that we have is above 100,000, roughly 120,000, somewhere there. Of course, the entire district has got a number of voters, as in when it comes to the political arena. So that is Chilubi Island, that is which is found in the northern province of Zambia.
Wow, wonderful. That is great. Just one more question. Is it on Lake Mweru or is it on Lake Bangweru? I don't know. I just want clarity so that people they know exactly where it is, sir. And I know we have these two lakes, but we also have the man-made Lake Kariba in southern province. So for those who don't know, but before you answer that, let me just appreciate some of our members. They're here, Madam Regina Mukondola, all the way from Belgium, Brussels. You are welcome, Madam. Please feel free to get into the conversation and lead us. Also, I want to appreciate someone who have been with us from the beginning, Sashi Maxwell. Sashi Maxwell, sir, you are welcome. Please, we shall give you a chance to speak. And I also want to welcome Maria. Maria is our project director of the UPND chapter, and she lives in Italy. So you can see we are all over, and yeah, it's a good thing because then we can learn from a lot. Yeah, so Chilubi Island. Maybe before I let someone else to come in, sir, what is the main source of income? What do people do in Chilubi Island for a living?
Okay, thank you so much. Chilubi Island, as I indicated, is in northern province and is found on the Lake Bangweru. Is surrounded by Lake Bangweru in northern province. The main economic activity for the people of Chilubi is fishing. Most of the activities where they get their livelihood or their income is just in fishing. Unfortunately, the fish is now depleting. So you can even imagine what is happening currently in our district. But of course, the mainland part of it, we are into farming, as in agricultural farming. So those are the activities, major economic activities that the people delve into.
Thank you so much. But just for the sake of interest, sir, how big is the population?
The population is above 100,000 people.
Wow, wow. And how many schools to cater for those 100,000 people? Because education is key. Now we have even free education.
Yes, schools are about 70 something. We have a lot of schools actually. Some are on the mainland, some on the island, and the others on the swamps.
Okay, so the school situation, do we have grade 1 up to grade 7 and then maybe grade 8 to 9? But I believe you don't have any college or university of some kind.
All right. I know we have everything, so to say. We have the nursery school, starting from the nursery school up to grade 12. And we also have one nursing school on the island, which is accommodating nurses, midwifery, all those health-related courses that are being offered from the island. So, yes.
Wow, what is the name of the nursing school? Just maybe someone who is in another part of Zambia would want to get educated on Chilubi Island.
Okay, the nursing school is simply called the Chilubi Island Nursing School, Nursing and Midwifery School.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Chilubi Island Nursing and Midwifery School.
Thank you so much. So I'll give opportunity just to my colleagues. Maybe one of them has a question or a contribution of some kind. I'll start with Maria. Maria, anything you want to add on to so far to what Mr. Mushembe has said?
Good evening. Mr. Mushembe.
Good evening, ma'am.
Thank you very much for, good evening. Thank you very much for accepting to come on our live stream to be our guest. And yes, indeed. I'm curious to know about Chilubi Island. I know that you're giving info so far, and my question is, do you also have a trades school? Because you've mentioned only of the nursing school, which is there. Do you also have a trade school for the youths on the island?
Unfortunately, the entire district has no nursing, no trade school. We only have the nursing school. So all those that are going for skills trainings, they are going outside the district to access such services or courses.
I see. And what about the most common women empowerment initiatives? I'm asking these questions because my husband and I are in contact with Lunga. I know Lunga is in Wapula. I was there. I've been several times to Wapula to work with these women, and they're running. I guess on the island, on your island, there should be the same activities. Since if we talk of an island, we're talking of fishing as a main activity for the men with survival. And what about the women?
Okay, you correctly put it, ma'am. The economic activities that are there, we have fishing, of course, and in some seasons, even the same women, they go into fishing. But on a small scale, these women, they are into cultivating of cassava, the local meal that we have.
I see.
And yes, so hello?
You can go ahead, sir. We are hearing you.
Yes, so I was saying the women also go into fishing as the source of income, but at other times they are into harvesting of the cassava that they farm on a small scale. So there's not much that they are doing, and usually these the fishermen, they carry with them their wives into the fishing camps. And that has also has an impact on the children that they bear. Usually they take them to the fishing camps, they go with them, and they don't even access other services that government might be providing to them, such as education and the health services. So those are the activities that are done. They are similar, yes, to Lunga, but it's somehow different because Lunga is I don't know, maybe I can say it has no much land as compared to our district, which has some land where people can do the cultivation.
Wow, thank you so much. I'll just immediately let Regina to come in, please. You can just jump in.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm trying to connect to my laptop. Let me just turn off my phone and then go on my laptop. Just give me 1 second, please.
All right, no problem. You'll find us on the way. So, Mr. Mushembe, I'm really so excited to have you here because you are going to tell us more about Chilubi. We are more interested in about Chilubi. So Chilubi is an island. What I would want to know, since it's an island, how is the communication? For example, do you have telecommunication? Like now we are hosting you. How is the telecommunication on its own? Is it viable? Can people rely on it? Can they use it for business? Can they use it for emergencies and the likes, things like that?
Okay, the telecommunication is there. It has been provided, but it's not all that sufficient enough to cater for the entire population that we have in Chilubi, because most of the areas, there are no telecommunication towers, and then there are some network problems that we experience. But of course, we are advancing our plight before relevant authorities so that our district, the entire district, can be catered for. In terms of other networks, I think from our side, as in the CBD, we are able to get the signals properly. However, we also have other challenges like the road network. The network is not there. The road network is not there. And even in terms of transport, we don't have much. For you to access the island, you have to face a lot of hurdles here and there. Hello?
Hello, we are getting you. Please make sure that you remain muted when the guest is speaking. Make sure that you are quiet because you are coming out and the whole world is listening to you. It would be nice because we are having a wonderful time together. Yes, please. Just make sure that you mute yourself if you want to speak. Just be in the background so that we don't kick you out. That won't be nice. Make sure that you are muted. All right. Madam Regina, are you ready?
Yes, please. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Commissioner Walishani Mkwai.
Wino Mkwai ma mulishani.
Awo ndifika wino inaleva Chilubi Island yaba kulwapula kanshi yaba ku Northern Province.
Mkwai yaba ku Northern Province. We have 12 districts in Northern Province.
Okay. So I remember in the 90s or late 80s, Chilubi Island was quite popular. What made it so popular at that time? Was it the fish, which has been depleted now, or what made it so popular?
Yeah, it could be that maybe the activities on the island were so highly pronounced. Maybe if you talk of fishing, yes, the people were doing much of the fishing, and the people could buy a lot of fish, big fish from the island. But now it's no longer there, and people don't easily get that fish. So I think it could be one of the reasons. And even in the late 90s, somewhere there, we had a very prominent man. That time there was Honorable. The Honorable was there, was very famous. And I'm sure he could have done a lot of publicity concerning our district. So maybe those could be the reasons as to why it was well known by the public.
I also wanted to find out, do you have any health facilities? Because I hear Chilubi Island, I think you can correct me if I'm wrong, that it had a large number of blind people. Is that true? What is your take on that, and what could have been the cause?
Come again, you are saying it has a number of what?
The blind.
Number of what?
The blind people.
Blind people.
Yes, okay, yes. Is that true? And if it's true, what could have been the cause of that? And then, as I think somebody also mentioned, I'm just trying to recall in the past that there was at the time the epidemic of leprosy. There was a lot, and they were using Chilubi Island to dump the people who were sick at the time. Is that true, or it's just people creating stories? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think some of the things that are there, they are just myths that people have, and they might not be very true. Of course, we have health facilities, a number of them. We have about three hospitals in the district offering health services. And yes, people thought maybe because of fish, That's why we had the experience of people getting blind. But that is not very true. Of course, there are some people who are blind, but it's not all that rampant that we can say most of the people are affected with the blindness. I think it's just the nutritional part of it, maybe, or hereditary somehow. We can say, yes, blind people are there, but it's not all that much as pronounced in other sectors of the world. Otherwise, those are there. All those health-related issues that you pointed out could have been caused due to the nutritional component, because mostly what we have is only fish. And if for our people, even making or providing a different dish or relish on their table, as in maybe vegetables, it's like a taboo. It's like something which is not welcome by the entire family, which is about to take something. So for them, for us as Chilubians, we value much fish. And you get to understand when people just go for one type of food, the repercussions or the consequences might be there, maybe affecting their health and the other things that are involved.
So
Wow.
just a follow-up question, because earlier you had mentioned that the women are doing cassava agriculture. So I'm thinking, so kuchilubi muliafya esabi na katapana tute no takwala fimbie formula. Can you kuti muate kenkoko kuti o muliafya katapa tute tute ya kocha, tute ya uma, tute ya mubwali, and this stuff, because you know, being an island, obviously you have so many restrictions, but I'm sure Mwadikwata, how do you call Uwato is one, Amato is plural, isn't it, Tiny?
Yes, you are right.
Yes. So how often do people come to do trade? Which one is the nearest town to Chilubi Island?
The nearest district, as in Sama, which is Perihaban, is Sampia district.
Okay, so Zambia, which is in Luapula province.
Yes.
So that's why I'm claiming Chilubi at Yakumwesu, you know?
And
so what kind of business do you do between is there between Samfia and Chilubi Island, sir? Thank you.
Okay, it looks like we have lost him. He's frozen for a while. And yeah, Regina, you can tell us more. You are from Chilubi.
No, I'm not from Chilubi Island. I'm just, I am from Luapula province.
Okay.
And I think when I was young, I always thought Chilubi Island was in Luapula. So I don't know much about it. And, you know, sometimes it's even embarrassing when they say, where are you from? I say I'm from Mufulira rather than Luapula.
Okay. You know, our passion, Maria and Regina, it is waste management. Could Chilubi be in our books for waste management?
Yeah, and I think that's what we need to find out. You know, being on an island, how do they dispose of their waste? Do they throw it back in the river? Do they what do they do? So I think it would be interesting to know what really happens in Chilubi Island. So I'm really interested. The commissioner, the chair at Awe, Ndimwina Mufulira more than I am from Luapula, but originally I'm from Luapula.
okay.
Yes, sir, you've got frozen, but in your short absence, we are talking. We never stopped. And one of the questions which Madam Regina raised is about waste management. So, how do you dispose your waste on that island?
we don't have proper management of waste. And this is when we are putting up strides to ensure that the local council secures a place where waste can be disposed. Otherwise, currently, we don't have such. We don't have such. And this is why we are now encouraging people to take advantage of such situations. Maybe it's because our district has not much activities, the waste is not all that much, but of course, with the growing population that we have, we need to come up with the measures to ensure that the waste is managed properly. We engaged recently, I engaged the council secretary and also the council chairperson, so that we can secure a place where such things shall be managed from.
Wow, thank you so much, sir. I want to bring maybe one of your youth here who is sitting. Wisdom, good evening, sir.
Good evening, thank you. How are you?
I'm very much okay. Where are you joining us from?
I'm from Chilubi Island.
Wow,
Specifically,
wow. That's wonderful. You have followed to listen what your DC has to say tonight, yeah?
Exactly.
Okay, now you are in Chilubi Island. How are the youth? What are they doing? You know, UPND government has an open policy, and they have brought in good things, education, free education. They have brought also for those who are not in school anymore, CDF, whereby you can train skills, you can learn something, you can start a business, a lot of different things that you can do with that money. Have you formed a cooperative with your friends?
Definitely, yes, we formed.
Okay, what are they doing? What are you doing, you guys?
We are doing fine.
No, what is the cooperative all about?
Okay, last year we applied under CDF and we've been given money, and that money we've ventured that money into our milling business.
Okay, so you have a kind of a milling company.
Yeah.
So how many bags can you produce per day to feed 100,000 people on Chilubi Island?
Sorry?
How many bags does your milling company produce to feed? Because Chilubi Island, the DC told us that it has a population of 100,000 people.
So maybe 1,000 people.
Okay, per day.
Yes, per day.
So you are leading good business. So CDF is a good thing, isn't it?
Definitely.
Wow. So how is the acceptance of the CDF in Chilubi Island among youth?
As you may know, the New Dawn government is working very hard, and we are appreciating them. And we are saying CDF.
Wow, wonderful, like this, eh? Okay, let me come back to your district commissioner, sir. You are in charge and you are on the ground. You grew up there, and that means you know all the problems. Now, please help us. I know that you have an opposition MP who is from PF. How is your working relationship with the PF MP?
Okay, our working relationship is not all that bad. Sorry that maybe, you know, the schedule for the MPs actually is a busy schedule and it's not locally available in our district. But as in rating, you know, my focus, my duty as district commissioner is to ensure that we harmonize all the players in development. So there's not much that we can do, as in maybe trying to frustrate each other or not being in good books with one another. That one is uncalled for. We will not promote that. We have not been advancing such, because we know that at the end of the day, the citizens of Chilubi will suffer if us we are antagonizing with one another. But the fact is, there might be some misunderstandings, of course, because we might not be carrying the same vision. You know, coming from the background where we have the head of state who is in the front seat and engineering everything, and also we have the opposition. Usually these in opposition, they tend to do things to the contrary in order to frustrate the efforts of government. I'm not proposing that that thing is what maybe the current MP has been doing. No, what I'm saying is there might be those issues that the current MP might not accommodate according to his beliefs. You know, it goes with beliefs. Like our vision, we are saying creating a united, prosperous, equitable Zambia. Now, there might be other things that the MP might not accommodate in his beliefs, and that would pose a challenge. I will give you an example of where you would want to focus on certain things that may unlock the development of this district. But you would find maybe those who are in the CDF committee, they have a different focus. They want to do something else. Look at what is happening in other constituencies or other districts. They have prioritized the road network. Here we have nothing like a road network. We have nothing to point at. Of course, they have done something. There are some projects being executed, but the focus could be different from what we expected. So there we might have issues, because the vision carrier and all those other players that we expect to buy into our ideas, we are not in tandem. Most of the times we might experience those misunderstandings, of course, but as humans, all that we can do, the best we can do is just to come together and work together as a team for the sake of developing our area.
Wow, wow! We have mentioned something that has touched me. You said the motto of UPND is to reunite Zambia, to rebuild Zambia. I want to tell you that that motto was born in this house when we are talking with some other senior members, like the current permanent secretary for defense, Mr. Norman Chipakopa. That is how the diaspora people came up with that, and we throw it to UPND, and they adopted it. What a wonderful thing. It's so exciting that even us who are outside, we have seen the need to contribute positively to the development of the nation. Now, sir, I just want to make a follow-up question before I can let someone else to come in. Sir, you have talked about working together and all this. Now, 2022, the government of Zambia gave CDF about 25 million. Has that money been used and has been shared, and people they are benefiting from it? What can you tell us about that money? Are there anything that are too short to say this is what the money did for last year? We haven't talked about for this year, just for last year, for example.
Yes, as a district, we have something that we can point at. We have projects being executed in different parts of the district. In almost all the wards of the district, we have about 24 wards in Chilubi. And almost all the wards are having at least one or two projects being run, being executed. So we are, the money for 2022 actually was put to use, but it delayed. The process was delayed. What we couldn't even appreciate what was delaying the entire process. Of course, maybe we can simply say it was for the first time that maybe the local council was actually handling such huge amounts of money, and we could even understand they could have not been all that conversant with the running or the process itself. Maybe being the novice to such could have caused all that thing. But the projects are being run, and because, you know, as DC, all patriotic, I've gone to the extent of even engaging myself in such projects, in ensuring that all things are done in good time. For instance, the same CDF money for 2022, the local council introduced the component of community contribution, which was not advisable. It was wrong altogether. They needed the community to participate, contribute 25% of the total cost of the projects. And now this has also delayed the delivery on time of such projects, because community members might not be all that willing to render support to the contractor. So after learning such to say, actually they had introduced community contribution, as DC, I never sat idle. I went straight into the field and tried to get some views from the community members to say what could be the challenges that you are facing. And what I did, I started engaging the welfare teams, giving them jerseys, balls, just for them to do the community contribution in collecting sand for the building and other things that might be of challenge on the part of the community. So actually, we are doing something as a district, and we have a lot of projects that will point at the end of the day. But going forward, 2023, we are not expecting any community contribution, because we have advised accordingly to say there is no need to engage the community to do anything. Let each and every contract be a full contract that can deliver on time. You know, the president has been emphasizing that we need delivery on time. And for sure, we have just to do that. So those are the things that would have maybe derailed the whole thing of delivery, and us having something that we can point at.
Wow, wow, wow. That is great, especially this thing you're talking about of working together. You know, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what grouping you belong to. We still Zambians. I want just to say something here, where we are in Europe. When there is a problem and it needs to be solved, the Europeans, they forget about their political belonging. They go for solution to look for a problem, and it doesn't take them long. You find them that have agreed. I can give you an example of the energy problem, the power problem, electricity, and all this, you know, because of the war in Ukraine, we are also affected. But within 1 month, the government, like here where we are, they were able to offer solutions that no one can complain, you know. So, sir, Zambia has a lot of sun. What is the form of energy that is found on Chilubi? Is it electricity? Are you in solar? Or what are people using? Are they still using Chitemene system? Or what is going on, sir?
Most of the population actually is depending on the firewood, and also the charcoal. But the district is connected to the main grid. We receive ZESCO energy, and it's just recently that we engaged RIA, and RIA is coming on board to ensure that they provide even to in other places they provide energy, renewable energy, as in solar energy, especially on the mainland where they are not connected to the main grid. So the source of energy that we have currently is just hydro power.
What is the RIA, sir, for the sake of those who are listening? What is RIA?
RIA is Rural Electrification Authority. That is just an agency of government, implementing some of the policies that we have. You know, the policies of government, like in ensuring that we realize our vision as New Dawn government. We have one of the targets of eradicating ZESCO blackouts, for instance. And now that one cannot be meted with the efforts only from ZESCO. So there is the RIA which need to come on board and help out so that we eradicate the problem of blackouts in our country. So RIA is another component or another sector of government.
Wow, wow, wonderful, wonderful. I know some of our viewers, they complain, they say, oh, mama bundles. Yeah, so it happens, you know, just prepare yourselves when there's something like this so that you don't miss, you are up to date. You know, things are moving fast, information is key. And I'll just encourage you, I don't know how much is that when something like this, where your leader is speaking, make effort to have a bit of some coins so that you can listen through. It's better to hear from the horse's mouth than being told. Regina.
Mushembe, Commissioner, I have another question. I don't know whether Chair you can show the screen of the rest of the participants, because I have a question for a commissioner concerning our lumendo of our youth, but I need to see their screen.
Okay, please. No problem. We can do that. They are here.
Okay. What was his name again, Chair?
Wisdom.
Wisdom Mulishani.
We know sana Mulishani.
How we know? Commissioner, it's quite impressive because I was looking, I saw that you were inside a building, and by Wisdom, I think you are outside of the building. Am I correct? Yes, and I was quite impressed that there is electricity at on Chilubi Island. Are you using ZESCO or you're using solar panels? And if you are using solar panels, is it so accessible for everybody on the island to use the solar panels? And if you are using ZESCO, how effective? Because it's very impressive that at this time we have been into the program for 52 minutes and you haven't had any complaints about power failure and so on and so forth. So that's I'm very impressed. How is it working on the island for you?
Okay, thank you so much.
Commissioner, please.
And
that is the question directed to me?
To both of you, sirs. I want to hear from you, the policy makers, and to the beneficiaries.
Okay. We can't complain much because right now I'm in my office and I'm using both solar energy and the ZESCO energy, that is hydro energy. Both are working. Usually, because Chilubi is at the end of everything, we face a lot of challenges in terms of maybe every time there is an interference or interception of delivery of power, you find Chilubi is affected. Power is disrupted. So those usually they are there because us is a different scenario. Even in the way we have access to power, it's different from these other districts. We have the marine cable. For us to access power, there is a marine cable. So, and there are those faults maybe on other islands, like in Babala Island, especially during the rain season, we experience a lot of power outages because of the same challenges. The terrain is not all that accommodative, and the poles get to fall from time to time. Maintaining those poles is a challenge on part of ZESCO. and all that stuff. So currently, yes, we have ZESCO power, but this has been actually one of my priorities in engaging RIA, because not all the places in Chilubi are accessing this hydropower. And when we talk of solar energy, is an individual on his or herself to access the solar panels. It's not being provided by another person, and it's too expensive for a common citizen in Chilubi.
Okay, there we go. I think he has again received a call, as it always happens. So I really want him back this time around, so that I want to ask him a very, very important question. So in the meantime, on Facebook, a lot of activities. People are busy. They are very, very interesting to see what is going on. Someone wrote, Diaspora Brethren, that DC is a hard-working person. You should support him. We need your support in Chilubi. Someone say that he needs to say the truth, because the only milling company is Kayunge Masaki in Santa Maria, and it's under Kambashi, not at Shaniko.
Maybe Wisdom can come in and let us know them and follow up on the question that I asked.
Yes. So I just want, before I bring Wisdom, I see someone by the name of Musonda Kennedy. Mr. Kennedy, good evening, sir.
Good evening, how are you?
We are fine. Where are you joining us from?
From Chilubi.
We are also from Chilubi. How is Chilubi?
Yes. Chilubi is just okay.
So if I was to ask you that you have to go to Samfia, how long will it take you?
Where I am, it should take me about 4 days.
4
because
days?
I'm based in the swamp. Yes, I'm based in the swamps.
Why should it take you 4 days, sir?
Because of the transportation networking.
What do you mean?
Where I am, it is very far from Samfia. I am based in the swamps area.
Okay, that means, in short, you are saying there are no roads.
No.
Okay, do you see a possibility in future for Chilubi Island in those swamps to have a lot? Because we are friends of Chinese.
Yes.
Seen Chinese,
yes.
they have built roads on water.
Yes, there is a future and there is a possibility.
Okay, so that means the
Yes,
Chilubi Island. Yes, sir. Actually, Chilubi Island could
yes,
be
as long as the island is connected to the mainland, it will be easier for us as well to travel fast.
Okay. Then
yes.
Then that means, on the other hand, Chilubi could be a very good place for tourism, isn't it?
Very much.
What are the tourist attractions there that can one find?
Fish mostly. Even though it is finishing. Yes.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you so much, sir. We are grateful. Thank you that you come here. We are one people. What we want to see is change for the better, not one corner, not Lusaka alone, but let it be everywhere. As we are in Europe, I can tell you that every village is the same. There's no big difference from a city. The things you find in the village, you can find them in a city. Whether it's a school, whether it's a hospital, everything is there where people are. So we want to make sure that in future, as Zambia develop, they come to that status quo. Thank you so much, and we shall be engaging you, your district commissioner. We are in contact with him, and we really want to make sure that we work together. Sir, thank you so much to have you back. And I have a very important question for you, sir, DC. I don't know if you are able to hear us.
And Maria has a contribution.
All right. Okay. But DC, are you able to hear us?
But Chair.
Yes, go ahead, Maria.
Yes, please. Before the gentleman you've just spoken to goes away, I would like to talk to him, please. If you can bring him on camera, it's much better.
No problem. No problem.
Mulishani.
Tulipe wina mulishani mamami.
Listen, I wanted to find out nga pantu mwachirandati, the fish is about to finish, and I know that this is a very big problem, because if a community survives on the fishing on fisheries as a way of survival. What I'm just saying is, I would like maybe you know, I would like you and there's Wisdom. There are other youths, obviously, in Chilubi Island, to think of the alternatives into, you know, having the fish. It could be even throughout the year. Aquaculture, you know. You can ask for the funds. I don't know if it's Pantuba DC Bachland that maybe 2020, we're in 2023, maybe not so many projects will be, you know, new projects will be brought in, but I think survival yenu on the island for cash is fish. Timwambako ama projects ya aquaculture in cages, you know, ama cages, there are some which are not very expensive. So this is an idea, I think, which we can give a hand in writing a small project whereby you ask for the funds. Ngate CDF, there's also Tralad. There are also other NGOs which are looking at giving a hand on the island. So aquaculture, pama islands. I'm talking of an example. You can start keeping your fish, especially ngakuli fishing ban. So you can be keeping your fish. Mutuma channels, we talk about man-made. Now we trapping on one side, so tuma fish ponds, so that you don't wait for Tito alande on one side na the youth, because this is what is going on. It can also be the idea can be brought to Chilubi Island, and then it allows the transport and that it takes you a long time, to obviously 4 days or so, for you to cross, you know, the channels and ABCD. Kuliko imbi food program Zambia ya kupanga utuma banana boats. Ya kupanga ma banana boats, because now mfuate yenda wino sana pa menshuti mwanjeba, you can prove me wrong, but I think Milenge, somewhere Milenge and Chifunabuli. Yakatampa yama project kwa fish for what do you call them, banana boat. Na yeye nakutumwa gani zako you know, transport ya kwebati ile mwafilisha from the swamps to the mainland. Tunachapa kwa kita contribute. Then last wa Wisdom mumwe bali kufigayo. My question is, the money you got for the city from oh my God, oh my God, sorry, the grant you got under the CDF funds. Do you think that kutimwa using a code also like to expand your business? So are you able to even expand your business, or I don't know how to ask, sorry.
First in sekeko epo Maria taulaya. Maria, kwaliwo ekibemba n'ekinyanja n'ekyakulwapula ati katwishe formula ganiza is nyanja. Yeah, I'm trying to share a video on fish farming in Belgium. I don't know whether I can share this with my chair and then he can play it so that maybe by wisdom Sonda can see what we are talking about. But adding to what Maria has said before you answer her question, I'm thinking, you know, the lack of transport hinders a lot of progress, you know, because when Bamsonda says going from where he is to Sanfia, it takes about 4 days. Nishu kweteshta ya msango shani nangu now ilove sabi by the time ule amkufike kolea nishiriabola, I'm sure, you know. So 4 days traveling is a very, very long time. Elonaba wisdom ichigayo. So is it possible that pa island muladima inani muladima matava or chigayo chatute? So I also just adding to the questions that Maria had. Thank you.
Okay, the DC has been having challenges to come back, but I have him on WhatsApp. But DC, can you say something so that people can hear you?
Yes, I'm now on WhatsApp. People,
yeah,
they are getting in.
Are you able to get the DC? Are you able to get him?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Can.
Barely.
Okay. All right. Okay, then it's good. Okay. I was following in the background, just trying to get him back so that we can continue talking as we wind up in the next few minutes. But DC, I just have one more question to you. And here in your absence, a group who has already started forming with our just plans. They want to support the youth on the ground. I think after this, talks will continue. Sir, so what is the biggest challenge on Chilubi Island?
The biggest challenge that we have as a district is the road network. We don't have any road infrastructure. So even on the other side, maybe traveling by the lake, on the waters, we only have one vessel. That is in terms of mobility. We only have one reliable vessel, which is very safe and able to deliver. Otherwise, in terms of mobility, connectivity, we are spending much and the cost of doing business is so high in Chilubi because we have no road network, and even the contractors that we contract to do the works, they are facing a lot of challenges because of the same road network which is not available. So we are actually struggling. We intend, if anything, following what the government has so far done, we need just to focus on the road network for us to unlock the district and open up the district to the rest of the people, the rest of the world, so that they can have access to our district. So the most major thing which is sitting as a challenge on our table is road network.
Okay. So you being in this,
of course, just one thing. A number of programs have been rolled out by the central government in terms of decentralization and devolution, the community projects, but the capital projects that we need. I think we will simply make an appeal that the government comes to our help because such infrastructure cannot be done within the provided CDF that we have currently. And most of the lands, they are not connected to each other. You know, Chilubi is so funny. For you to access the other place, you find a lot of embankments are there. So it's all about the road network, which is not just available in our district. And once we are done with the road infrastructure, we will see Chilubi maybe developing into something else, a city or some sort of that. So we expect the road network to be priority number one, having all the stakeholders brought on board and sit, we discuss and we prioritize. I think if we develop our land by bringing in the road network, I think everything will unlock and it will be good to go.
Wow. Okay, that's good. You are in the seat as one of the planners. Pull the people with you. You know, don't leave anyone. You know, in my country, in my language, they say that to raise up a child, you need the whole village. So engage others to support you, to help you. Here are some of the people I've come to know from Chilubi, Kennedy, Musonda, and the Wisdom are all guarantee men. And I don't know the other guy who have not spoken. Sir, good evening. Venon Chima. Venon, good evening. Mulishani mkwa. Tabale mfwa. Venon. Muli ukutali sana.
Evening, sir.
That we hear you.
Never send the
we cannot hear you, sir, unfortunately.
Ndela ndilifya bwino ine basa.
Mulifye bwino. Oh. Yeah, okay, network problem.
Guys, network problem.
But we cannot really hear what you are talking about. Sorry for that.
But we can hear. I can hear him from here. I don't know about the rest of the.
How about others? Are you able to get him?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyway, since I'm not getting him from here, we thank you. Please, if you have the opportunity, there is a chat there.
I think it's network.
You just tell us so that we know in the few next minutes. Yes, we are closely coming to the end of our program. DC, you are in government, so can you just give us an overview direction of your district, Chilubi? What are the next plans that you intend to take to move the district from where it is now to another level?
Okay, as I indicated, our focus is road network. Once we are done with the road network, on the sidelines, community projects are running, and we are having a population which need to be educated. As government, as we embark on these community projects, we are also wooing a lot of people to go back to school so that we can have a citizenry which is educated, a people who are able to make decisions autonomously, independently. They can make informed decisions because they have the information, they are educated. So the next thing that we need now to embark on is calling all those people who have not gone to school, or maybe they have dropped from school, they need to go back. Even those who are aged, we need to come up with the adult literacy. Because once we have a population in Chilubi which is educated, civilized, and able to understand all the issues that are obtaining in our nation, they will be able to make sound judgment, and they will not be the choices that they will be making. They will not be deceived. You know, they say information is power. So, because of the policies that government has introduced, the free education policy being provided by the Newton government, I think it's high time people went back to school and got the skills from there. After all, they are not going to lose anything, but they are going to gain. So my focus is, after we have put in place the infrastructure that we desire most, we should now call on our citizens to be educated. After that, that's when now we can roll out other programs that will help our people to be developed. You know, we are living in another world where we need a citizenry which is educated. For them to understand what or appreciate what government is doing, I think they need to be educated. All those things are basing on education. So in my case, you know, being a teacher, I know how powerful education can be to our people. And I know how things will move. Even for us to eradicate the poverty and inequalities, people at least should have the basic education that they need. For us to provide, or for the people to appreciate the health services that we need to provide to them, for the people to appreciate what government is doing, I think we need education there. And you know, for Chilubi, it has been happening that because of lack of education, people have been duped. People have been told lies, even by our leaders, telling people lies, making all sorts of propaganda, misleading the people, the masses. Such things cannot be there if people have been to school. So my focus shall be bring back the people to school so that they get the education that will help them in their lifetime.
Wow, 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 wow. That is really great. Maybe the last question, sir, because no person in this world can live without food, eating. We have heard of fish, we have heard of cassava. Are there any other crops that are being grown on the Chilubi Island? I'm asking this because, sorry, one of the things the president, every time he speaks, he has emphasized is that agriculture is business. Is there anything in terms of agriculture which is taking place in terms of commercial, or are there any plans in that direction?
Yes, actually, there are a number of activities that we are undertaking. Like last year, we encouraged, in fact, beginning at the end of, towards the end of 2021, we encouraged a lot of individuals to form cooperatives. And these cooperatives, actually what I did after they formed these cooperatives, I encouraged them to apply so that they can access the farmer inputs under Farmer Input Support Program that is under Ministry of Agriculture. And all the new cooperatives, most of them, they were embraced into the system and they got the inputs. And currently, they have the maize farmed for the 2022-2023 farming season. And people are appreciating the new government, because what used to happen previously, those old cooperatives, few cooperatives, they were actually hijacking the entire process. Few individuals were getting lion's share at the expense of the general population. And it also led to the phenomenon which is there to say Chilubi is much into fishing. And yet people could not simply access the inputs. So what I did when I was just appointed, we encouraged a lot of cooperatives and we brought them on board. They accessed the inputs and now they are even appreciating. And the myths of saying, no, on Chilubi Island, we cannot farm maize, we cannot do that, is no longer there because people have done a lot of farming. And we are expecting bumper harvest this year in Chilubi because a lot of people accessed the inputs from government, the subsidized inputs, and they did the farming, the actual farming, which was just going into a few individual homes. But this time around, we have done a robust thing. A lot of people access the inputs and they have done the farming. And the other thing is, Chilubi is not only into, it cannot only be aligned to fishing only. There are a lot of activities that our people can venture into, such as keeping goats and also rearing chickens, among other activities, economic activities. So there are a lot of things that our people can do, and we are encouraging them. For the information of other people who are listening, we have also partners who have come on board, and that is TRAD. We have TRAD projects, sub-projects that are being implemented in our district, and at least people are coping up. They are able to do one or two things. Of course, being new to the whole thing, we are just grooming them so that they can do agricultural activities as a business. So I'm hopeful and I'm foreseeing a future where Chilubi will be able to do business or to venture into agricultural activities at a large scale. So in the future, we shall have a transformed land, a changed district altogether.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much, sir. I think that sums it up. We know now where Chilubi is. And yeah, next time, please, if you are going to Zambia, make effort to go to Northern Province and visit Chilubi. There are nice people here. You have seen them and they will welcome you. You will not be lonely. You will not be afraid because we have connections now with the local people. Definitely, as I said from the beginning, that the UPND Europe chapter is here to supplement the government of the day with whatever they are doing. So we be coming back to you, as I said, Mr. DC, in your absence, a kind of a committee has formed where they want to engage outside the platform to see how the youth in Chilubi can be helped. We just really want to thank you so much for this wonderful time, for taking your time and for coming on board. Definitely, this is not the end of the story. We are going to get back to you again. You can still be our guest and tell us where things have gone after all this that we have talked about. So for tonight, thank you so much, everyone. We are really grateful, and we just want to say goodbye to everyone for coming on board, especially all those who came all the way from Chilubi. We had a very big audience on our platforms, and it is so exciting to see a very wonderful discussion was going on there. And yeah, what else to say? Va Regina, va Maria, closing words.
Yes, thank you very much, Chair. Commissioner, thank you. And of course, Chilubi fellow Zambians, thank you so much for coming on the program. I think takeaways here, the main problem is the road network. And it's sad to hear that the island is still underdeveloped after being accessible by boat for such a long time. I think what we can urge the commissioner is that I think you need really to engage the Minister of, I think it's road, transport and infrastructure to see what they can do about the roads, because Chilubi Island is not only Chilubi Island. You have all these swamps, like where Bamsonda is coming from, that are breakaways from the mainland, the main island. And you need to have access. You need to do business and have like what Wisdom is doing, they have to sell it or to send it somewhere. Because what I have seen reading about Chilubi is you are more closer to the Luapula part than you are to the northern part, and that's why I think I had the confusion that Chilubi Island is in Luapula province. So I think, Commissioner, we are appealing to you to use your power, to use your connections, to use the office that you have to help the people of Chilubi Island to have get in touch with the Chinese, get in touch with the minister, so that maybe after all these years, so many commissioners have come and gone. Let us as UPND be the difference that people have been waiting for such a long time. Let's make the difference, because we have the CDF funds. We have so many things that, money, for instance, that is available to us as UPND to make a change in people's lives. So my appeal to you, Mr. Commissioner, is please help Wisdom, help Sonda, help the other guy, I couldn't get his name, and other citizens or inhabitants of Chilubi to have access to the main roads, because as an island of 100,000 people, you can't only depend on one mode of transportation, which takes 4 days to move from the island to mainland. So please, my appeal to you is roads, and you see how Chilubi Island will open up to the rest of the country and the rest of the world. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you so much, Maria. You can just write welcoming your closing words.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. I was reading what the youth or the comments on Facebook. I have the youth at heart. I'm very, very happy to read, their dreams, because I think there's somebody called Chi or something. He has repeatedly written his expression to say there's need to have a trade school. I think this is imperative that the youths are granted a kind of education, a place where they can have a skill. Islands now are becoming places of ecotourism, for example, and a trade school can only be a source of knowledge. And if it when it comes to practical skills, we are still talking of a trade school. They can start with small workshops, and there we go. This is my closing remark. Thank you very much, Mr. DC, and we are happy to interact. I repeat, youths, in case of writing projects that you can send to different entities which give grants, you're welcome to come through our chapter, and we can also do our part in helping you to write the projects, and then that could be an input we could give. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. So we have come to the end of this program today. We are really grateful, sir, for being our guest. Definitely come back again and give us more input. We couldn't cover everything. It's not possible in 1 hour to do everything. Otherwise, we are really, really grateful for the people of Chilubi. That is Zambia in the northern part. And yeah, don't sit idle. I just want to tell you that about 10% of the CDF, they are guarantees which everyone is entitled. If you are a Zambian, it's about 40,000 to 50,000 kwacha, which you get free of charge. It is not a loan of any kind. Many people, they have used that money to take themselves back to school. What a good thing. And school, maybe from that 40,000 kwacha, you just pay maybe 200 kwacha or something there for tuition or whatever they are asking for. So let's make use of these good ideas. We are blessed to have such a leadership at the moment who have thinking about the people, and it has not been like that, in the world over. I have to say this, I was impressed by Emirates. I don't know if you know Emirates. Emirates is an airline from Saudi Arabia. And do you know what they've done? They have made profit of more than $2 billion this year season. And they have given their workers 6 months pay in advance. This May, they are getting that money for 6 months just to say thank you. That is what we should be doing as people, not selfish, not accumulating wealth alone. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, our team. I don't know if we can stay maybe 5 minutes or so just to say hi as we go offline. Thank you so much.
Good night, Chilubi Island.
Thank you very much, and good night as well.
Good night, everyone. May God bless us all.
Good night. Good night.
Good night, and thank you. Thank you.
Chalila lelo, bena nguva lelo, osada.